Hey everybody, welcome back around to the blog and grill. I'm your host Doug here with your video blog for April 28th, 2014. I have a great blog planned for you today. Some good stuff going on in sports. We're going to look at NASCAR as they finished up their race in Richmond on Saturday night. It was a classic race for sure. We're also going to go inside some Major League Baseball action. I'll give you my picks 16 through 20 for the NFL draft, but first I want to get to the NBA playoffs. The NBA playoffs really heating up. This has been some solid first-round matchups for sure, in the West especially. Let's just break down the series and so far what's been going on. So first, let's go to the 8-1 matchup in the East, the Atlanta Hawks and the Indiana Pacers. The Pacers, we know, have just struggled and struggled and struggled. David West hits a clutch 3 in Atlanta in Game 4, and the Pacers sneak out with a win 91-88. That game is tied up at 2, and we will have Game 5 of that series tonight at 8 o'clock back in Indiana. Next series, Charlotte and Miami. Miami is really just starting to pull away. Won the last game by 13. LeBron had 30 and 10. This series will have its Game 4 tonight at 7. Heat looking to lock it up in Charlotte. Another good series, Brooklyn and Toronto, the 6-3 matchup in the East. Yesterday, Brooklyn could not score down the stretch. Raptors closed the game on a 14-2 run. DeMar DeRozan has another big 24-point effort. Raptors win 87-79. This series is headed back to Toronto, tied at 2 games apiece. And the final matchup in the East is the Bulls taking on the Wizards. Sorry, Taj Gibson had a big game yesterday, 32-7, but it wasn't enough. Trevor Ariza, 30 points, 8 rebounds. Wizards extend this series 3-1. They head back to Chicago, up 3-1, and Game 5 is going to be tomorrow. In the West, the 1-8 matchup, the Spurs and the Mavericks. This game was a classic on Saturday, a Game 3. Vince Carter hitting the big buzzer beater as the Spurs fall to the Mavericks, 109-108. Monte Ellis, 29 for the Mavs. And we'll see Game 4 in this series tonight in Dallas. And the other series, Memphis OKC, Reggie Jackson puts up 32 for the Thunder. Mr. April, as we might call him, in overtime. Thunder get it done 92-89. This series tied up at 2 games apiece. Game 5 will be tomorrow at 9. And the Warriors and the Clip Show making it happen. Lob City goes down. Steph Curry 33, 7 and 7. He's starting to shoot the ball better than he did in the first couple of games. That series is tied up at 2. Game 5 of that one will be tomorrow night at 10:30. And finally, Portland just keeps rolling. They get clutch shots once again. Damian Lillard playing big. LaMarcus Aldridge 29 and 10. Trailblazers take down the Rockets 123-120 in the Rose City. This series will be headed back to Houston for Game 5 on Wednesday. And it's going to be interesting to see as the Trailblazers lead 3-1. Alright, so that's our NBA playoff update for you. Now it's time to get to our NFL draft coverage. The NFL draft just 10 days away. It's going to be exciting. We are now down into the middle of the first round. Our picks 16 through 20. Our first at 16, we have the Dallas Cowboys. Cowboys terrible on defense last year. They have enough offensive weapons. Some have said if Manziel's there at 16, they'll take Manziel. I see them going cornerback out of Michigan State, Darqueze Dennard with that pick. Number 17, the Baltimore Ravens. More quarterbacks coming into that. They already have the quarterback with Flacco. You have to go up against Roethlisberger, possibly Johnny Manziel if he goes to the Browns, and also Andy Dalton with some good wideouts. I think they go safety. They'll take Kelvin Pryor. That's who I have them drafting. Kelvin Pryor, the safety out of Louisville. Jets got Eric Decker. He's a 2. They need a 1. Brandon Cooks could be their number 1 wide receiver. I think they're going to take him with the 18th pick out of Oregon State. Miami Dolphins could not run the ball last year. Offensive line was bad with Jonathan Martin and Richie Incognito issues. They go with another Martin, this guy out of Notre Dame, the offensive tackle Zach Martin, and he will be drafted with the 19th pick to the Miami Dolphins. And finally, the Arizona Cardinals, pretty good offensively, have good offensive skill players. I think they'll go out and get another cornerback. The quick guy out of Oklahoma State, Justin Gilbert. They need him to match up with the quarterbacks in that division and the wideouts. They'll take Justin Gilbert, the cornerback, out of Oklahoma State. We'll have more on the NFL draft throughout the week, but let's get now into our MLB action. And as we do on every Monday, we're going to have our performance of the weekend. And the performance of the weekend goes to the Atlanta Braves staff. Sunday, 10 innings, 3 hits, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts in their 1-0 win over the Reds. Major League Baseball leading 2.14 ERA, and that's been big for this staff. Tehran pitching well, Medlin out, Beachy out, Aaron Harang pitching well, and the man Irvin Santana also pitching well. Just another note that nobody's really talked about, Jose Abreu. We're going to have our Player of the Month on Wednesday, and Jose Abreu could be the guy. Jose Abreu, the rookie for the White Sox, batting .262, 10 homers, 31 RBIs. That ties Albert Pujols for the rookie RBI total for 1 month. And he had another big game yesterday, 2 hits, 4 RBIs, and his 10th home run. Jose Abreu playing big. Another Cuban defector. We'll see if he can keep it going. NASCAR was at Richmond this weekend. Jeff Gordon, my man, I picked him to win. He was dominating the race all throughout. I fall to 2-7 in my picks. He couldn't get the win. Joey Logano pulls out the win for his 2nd win of the year. Now let's go to the NASCAR point standings just to give you an update of what's been going on here, as we now have 2 guys with 2 wins. So Joey Logano is the points leader at this point right now. Joey Logano with 2 wins on the year. Kevin Harvick also with 2. And it's exciting to watch. Carl Edwards, Kyle Busch, Dale Jr., Brad Keselowski. Jeff Gordon actually has the most points. 7 top 10s, 4 top 5s. But he just can't get a win right now. He's struggling to get a win. Transfer spots right now. Denny Hamlin in 16th. He has the final playoff position. Tony Stewart 17th. And some other notable guys down low. Casey Kane in 23rd. And Martin Truex Jr., a Chase guy last year, in 27th. Time for your New York sports update. Yankees over the weekend take 2 out of 3 from the Angels. Last night, Mark Teixeira had the big home run to tie it up. Masahiro Tanaka struggled with his control, went 6 1/3, gave up 2 runs, walked 4, but struck out 11. They are 15-10, 2.5 game lead over the Orioles. They will start a 3-game series with the Mariners as Robinson Cano returns to the stadium tomorrow. Chris Young 0-0, 3.50 against Sabathia 3-2, 4.78. Mets over the weekend took 2 out of 3 from the Marlins. They finished their homestand at a respectable 6-4. They are now 14-11, just 3.5 games back of Atlanta in the National League East. They're going to start a 2-game set with Philly tomorrow. In Philly, we'll see Jonathan Neese for the Mets 1-2, 2.45, taking on Cole Hamels 0-1, 3.00. It'll be Hamels' 2nd start of the year. And the New York Knicks have begun to interview for their coaching job. Talks with Steve Kerr over the weekend continue into this week. We'll see what they do. Steve Kerr probably going to wait until the end of the first round of the playoffs just to see who has open positions at that point. All right, we'll be back on Wednesday with NBA playoff actions, NFL draft 21 through 25 as we get into more of the playoff teams and what they're going to do. We'll also have MLB action with our player of the month and the New York sports update. Always remember to follow me on Twitter at YankeeBaller415. That is YankeeBaller415. Comment, question, subscribe to my page. Thanks for tuning in to the Blog and Grill. I will be back on Wednesday. Have a good start to your week.